Part of me wishes that I had not told John about this prior to get the raw react, but it also would have turned our usual 10-minute cold open into a 40-minute cold open. So I made that executive decision, but now I'm here to tell you all that I am in fact making a 40-ish leaning towards 50 slide PowerPoint presentation for my wife on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be fantastic. I
Now,
got a
you may
sneak peek.
It's good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty good at PowerPoint. Actually, hold on. Let me actually toot my horn. In a professional context, I have been asked to give workshops on PowerPoint and graphic design with PowerPoint at a professional capacity. Fuck everyone. I'm the best at PowerPoint. That being said, this all came about with me just going to Adrian and be like, do you think I could teach you one day to play Yu-Gi-Oh? And real joking, like, she just went, maybe if you give me, I don't know, a PowerPoint presentation on it. And I didn't even answer her. I just like went to our room, got the laptop, and just started working. And it's been a week. It's legit actually done, with the exception of slide animations, because I'm using Google Slides, not slide animations, but like the actual like material animations, not the transitions, the pictures going bouncy and in and out, fading. That's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm missing that is because Google Slides sucks. The way it works in PowerPoint, I can't believe I'm trying to explain
the version differences between.
Dude, it's crucial because, like, okay, when you do animations in PowerPoint, let's say you have like a bullet list, right?
Yeah.
The bullet list is like 4 items long, something like that. When you take that bullet list and give it an animation, you can give it like, you can put down there's a drop down menu, and it gives you like sub animations for each bullet point, kind of like folded into that big, like, all of this is under the animation.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be really nitty gritty and you want like a picture to come in with the bullet point, you would be able to open that drop down menu and then slide in the picture animation to coincide exactly with the bullet point coming up, right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty useful, you know, like that snappy, that, you know, Google Slides doesn't let you do that. At least not that I know of.
That's so weird.
Legit, if anyone on Discord can help me with this, like, I would be over the moon. Because, like, their object animations thing is just like, oh, you got a bullet point list, you do it by paragraph. Oh, you want something to come up with it? Fuck you, we don't tell you how to do it. So, unless someone, a Google dev or some shit, pops into our Discord, I'm just gonna have to look up a YouTube tutorial on how to do this. I know how to do it the jank way. I've done it the jank way, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I can't believe
the jank realm long enough. We don't want that.
Because the jank way to do it is to just like make each bullet point its own text box, and then have it like come in, because each text box is considered an object, and so that can be animated like one after the other with shit in between it.
Yeah.
But like that's
so much more. Like, it's
a lot of work. I'd have to have split up all of my bullet points into individual text boxes. There has to be a better way.
Yeah, there has to be.
So, Paramecia Flower Capital, if you're a Google Slides wizard, come on in and help me out.
Yeah.
Because I'm in dire need. Come on. If you help me out with this, I get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With my wife. You would be doing me a grand favor. Also, if you do play Yu-Gi-Oh, we have a specific chat on our Discord.
Paramecia Flower Capital. Permanent invite links in all of our social media descriptions and pinned tweets.
Yeah, baby. If you scroll down to the gaming folder and the text channel that says my deck has no pathetic cards, then there you can suggest archetypes of cards I could introduce to my wife for fun.
Yeah. There was a section at the end of this where there's some archetypes just to introduce, to try to get Adri to be invested in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we need some more funny ones.
You know, I've got Ojamas in there, Kaijus, Madolche. I need other ones because my brain has trains on the mind all the time.
Just put a picture of the giant cannon train thing. Fuck you, trains.
Dude, I've shown it to Adrian. I've been like, isn't this the coolest thing? And she's just looked at me and been like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I look, I get it. If you're not invested, what's the appeal? It's a piece of cardboard that has a kind of cool image on it. I get it. But I'll get her. Y'all believe I'll get her.
Show her Neospatians and then have her dive down the rabbit hole with us about how Air Neos hasn't been printed since fucking 2012.
I'll put
or 2008
Neospatians
or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's only been printed once. The Neospatians will be literally the last slide on the PowerPoint, and then I'll end that PowerPoint and boot up another PowerPoint that says why Air Neos isn't in Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG or OCG. Why this card is worth $20,000.
The significance of Air Neos' erasure from history.
Dude, it sucks.
Air Neos, the new Void Century.
it legit is the best Neos card, hands down.
Yeah. There was, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm not going to go into the rabbit hole. There is a card that has not been reprinted in Yu-Gi-Oh! For 10 plus years now, and it was really good, and they've been giving more support to the archetype, but they haven't reprinted that card. And that card's effect was, if your life points were lower than your opponent's, that monster gains the difference as attack points. And there was a card in the deck that you would use that was, if you had no monsters, you could pay half your life points and summon a monster from your deck. So what you would do is play that card, summon your monster, and then fusion into this monster that hasn't been reprinted, Air Neos. And then if they tried to do anything, you would Solemn Judgment, which is a card that it's basically a counter card, and if they do anything, if they activate a trap or a spell or they try to summon a monster, you pay half your life points and you just say no and you negate it. So in one turn, if they try to stop you, you just gained yourself 6,000 attack points on top of the 25 that he had or something.
Dude, and it's really easy nowadays to just lose life points on your own. The way you can, so it's called a one-turn kill. You can set that up so easy.
Yeah,
but John, I have good news. For the low price of $40, you can get yourself a copy of Air Neos.
For $40?
Yeah, I'm legitimately really surprised.
Is it a non-holo, probably?
No. It only comes in ultra rare or ultimate rare, so it has to be holo.
Oh, dude, what the hell?
It's just not first pressing. Yes, it was only technically printed once, but it wasn't the first print. You know what that? Because there's first editions and unlimited editions, and so it's unlimited. It's an eBay listing for $40.
That's crazy.
They claim that it's near mint. Oh wait, actually, sorry. The bid is now $311.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, but TCG player got it for $274.
Yeah, I see one here. Ultimate Rare Arenios for $899, and it's used.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, it is what it is, you know. It's tournament legal. It's just hard to have.
Yeah,
so
it's tournament legal.
Run up
just
with
can't.
it.
Yeah. And like they still reprint the other Neospatian Hummingbird, like
because Hummingbird's not the issue.
Yeah, because I don't know I need someone to find which artist got ripped off. Like, what plagiarism happened that made this monster like just not able to be printed anymore?
It's an airline, right? Air Neos.
Yeah, so like nobody knows the official reason, but there's a theory that it's an airline that's called Neos Air that had an issue with it or something, but it's like that doesn't really make sense because like copyright law, like they wouldn't be able to stop it because like the sales of a trading card don't directly take away sales from like they're two different markets.
We're getting into it.
Yeah. And then the other after I just said we wouldn't get into it. And then the other theory is that whoever the artist was at Konami, like they might have plagiarized a design, and maybe Arenios is like a plagiarized design or something, and they don't want to like reprint it because there's been plagiarism things in Yu-Gi-Oh on like card designs and like before. But like nothing about this, none of these theories have been like proven correct. It's literally just like this monster's just erased from history. And even there is a new card that came out that's Neos support, and it's Elemental Hero. It's a direct screenshot from the anime opening where it's like a Neos jumping in the middle and then all of the Neospatian like fusions of him around him. And in the anime shot at the top, Arenios is there. And in the card, they redrew all of the heroes, and they just did not put Arenios at the top.
Dude, hell yes. We are Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast, where we review the latest chapter of One Piece, have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is Franz.
My name is John, and we are not a Yu-Gi-Oh! True Crimes podcast yet.
We're so desperately close, and you can help us.
Oh God, no! We are here with chapter 1045, Next Level, and dude, I mean, we got some good stuff this chapter. I was like, oh God,
dude, I jumped out of bed. It was other than the Looney Tunes stuff.
Yeah.
Like my mind was like, implications?
Yeah, we got some Looney Tunes stuff. We got some like callbacks to like Bink Sake. Like we got some fucking something that I think is I think somehow relates to freaking to Elbaf. Like,
oh yeah, for sure it has to.
Yeah, there's some good stuff, but we start with the color page, the color spread, and I read somewhere that this is promotion for like some trucks that are going to be I don't know why the trucks are driving around other than they're for the 25th anniversary.
Hey, but Jinbei's driving.
Yeah, like there's apparently real trucks that are going to be driving around Japan. Hold on.
Oh man. I moved back too soon.
Yeah, so there's like actual trucks. The color illustration at the beginning of Weekly Shonen Jump number 18. On the truck, in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the original serialization, a truck caravan project running around the country is underway. So there's like trucks that are designed like the Thousand Sunny that have this color spread on them on the side. And I guess they're going to be driving around Japan. I don't know what they're going to be doing. It just says, like, wait for more details.
Would it be food?
I guess so. I don't know. I'll post it in the on our Discord. We have a channel, also Sume, and then other stuff that I can't read.
It's just that in Japanese.
Oh, okay. It's just we'll just post, like, if you're ever listening to the show and we mention something, we'll probably post a link. We'll most likely post a link of it in there. I'll find a video about this Aeneas conspiracy and post it in there as well.
Oh my god.
But I posted the trucks. I don't know what they're gonna do. If they're food trucks, that would be super cool. I would want a food truck. I would want One Piece food truck. I don't know. That sounds like really cool. Because, like, you have they open the themed cafes,
right?
Like, in Japan all the time. But, like, themed food truck? Hold on now.
Honestly, much better. And it implicitly, like, goes in tours. Like, you don't have to go to Tokyo, because it's always in Tokyo. They're pop-ups. They last a month. Like, none of that. None of that. They go to you. That would be so good. Yeah,
this would be super cool. But
damn.
We just get the color spread. It's just a nice color spread. I don't know. I like it. There's a small detail I love, and it's like the shirts that they're wearing. They all have little, like, Zoro has a little shirt that says, like, boisterous, and it has, like, a horse on it. And then Sanji has, like, Candy Lion, and it's a little, like, cat. But my favorite is Robin. She's in the background, like, she's behind Chopper and Jinbei. But you can see she's wearing a purple shirt with a brown apron, and her apron has a little picture of Chopper on it. And I just think that's adorable.
Dude, are you kidding me? That's so good. I'm in love. Like, part of me wants to get into, like, doing my own clothing, because, like, I'm a pretty big person. Like, not up and down wise, left and right wise. And so, like, nice clothes don't really come around for big people. So I'm part of me is about to say fuck it. I do need a sewing machine through and through, just because it's useful to have. I want to get, like, a silk screening, like, system going.
Ooh, yeah.
And I also want an embroidery machine. Like,
that'd be cool.
I'd be unstoppable. But let's get into the chapter.
Let's get into something else unstoppable.
Oh man, we're up at the top of the Skull Dome. And they're both so tired. Kaido's just, I was certain that you were dead. And Luffy's, like, bouncing up and down as he laughs. Like, to me, like, regardless of everything else cartoonish that has happened, that is the most cartoon thing that he's ever done.
Yeah. He's like, because he's like, me too, haha, and he's just, like, laughing, and, like, the entire ground is rubber, and he's, like, bouncing on it. You just see, like, boing, boing, like, he's like a trampoline. He's just bouncing up and down while him and Kaido are, like, wheezing and talking to each other.
And then, like, Kaido gets the epiphany that we as readers got through the Gorosei last chapter, and he's just like, really rubbing those brain cells. Given that you're transferring your rubber power to other things, I suppose I can interpret this as the awakening of your Paramecia powers. But something doesn't add up. Body transformations like that are the trademark of zone powers. And so, like, now the concept has been introduced to Luffy, but he also just doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, his hands behind his head, feet full of just,
Dude, he's like, this rubber boy right here on this panel, that's really cute.
Yeah.
What a good boy.
Oh god, we get Kaido, like, so at first I was like, the way I read it when I first read this page is that the final panel on the bottom is that Kaido is, like, yelling at him that it's like body transformations like that are the trademark of zone power, is, like, screaming, but then you turn the page and he, like, bites him. He bites Luffy, and Luffy's like, why you? And he gets swallowed. Like, I think the implication is Luffy jumps into his body.
I don't know. Because he struggles first.
Yeah, because he struggles, and then you see the chomp and the gulp, and then Kaido's like, like, he starts bouncing around inside. He starts bouncing around inside Kaido's body, and he uses Gum Gum Balloon, and I like,
dude, this is the best.
I love this panel because Kaido's middle section looks like, you know, those videos of when a snake swallows an egg whole, like an ostrich egg.
Yes.
It looks like that, but if you look, you can see, like, stretching out of Kaido's body is, like, Luffy's head and his hands and feet.
Dude, what a great attention to detail. Like, it's crazy that he can... Okay, so, like, let's put on our power scaling hats real quick.
Yeah.
Doflamingo, with his awakening, could impart the properties of string to... sure, himself and inanimate objects, but Luffy here is like imparting rubber characteristics to like another living being, another non-consensual living being.
Yeah,
that's some PowerPoints right there, and we can take the hat off now.
Yeah, we can take the hat off, revealing Ratatouille. Luffy can take free will just like Ratatouille can.
I mean, that's what this sequence is almost. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's wild that, like, because it's not, we saw it, like, some people had pointed out on Twitter, and I think it's just a sort of, like, a goofy thing, but also, like I think it's just for the gags, like, when Kaido's eyes are, like, bugging out like a cartoon. But also, like, Joy Boy or like Nika, the god of, like, the sun god Nika and Joy Boy was said to, like, bring, like, smiles to people's faces. So I'm wondering, like, if like the tunification is like part of the, you know, fruit as well.
I wonder, and honestly, I think that's a valid line of reason. I really do.
Yeah, it's insane. Kaido's middle part is just like a giant balloon, and I love, like, Kaido's eyes are like white, and he's like, why you, like, spitting up, and he's just floating upwards, and you see, like, Yamato and Momonosuke just mouths agape, they're just staring at him, and I love Yamato. Oh, you sweet little summer child, you. Yamato, he's like, what is that? What's happening? I don't understand. Kaido's getting fatter. Was that always one of his forms?
Like, for things to get so wacky, you have to question your own father's fighting ability.
And he's like, and even Kaido makes mention of it, curses, what's wrong with me? My body isn't made of rubber.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Yo, go.
I mean, kind of literally, he
Kaido
did take a bite of gum gum.
Oh, God. And you just see Luffy like, oh, I see two lights. And on some Tom and Jerry... Okay, you know what this reminded me of? When the cartoon character, when, God, I don't even know what cartoon this happened in, but let's say, like, Tom and Jerry. Tom, when he eats... I think there's an episode where he eats a little duck, and the duck, like, turns on a lamp in Tom's head and is, like, peeking through the eyelids as if they're, like, windows. And that's what this reminded me of.
Yeah. It's a little more recent, but I do know there are SpongeBob episodes like that.
Yeah. Dude, this is, like, Luffy's hands reach out of Kaido's eyeballs, and then he...
What?
Yeah, which, like, and, like, he grabs onto Kaido's nose, and he says, gum gum, and he uses escape rocket as he, like, shoots himself out of Kaido's mouth, all while laughing.
Dude, like, okay, you know, this gets firmly filed under the, it's funny, so who cares? Like, don't think about it clause.
Yeah.
But let's think about it.
Because when you start thinking about it, this fruit starts getting kind of, like, horror, like, horror genre.
So, like, okay, Luffy did not like break through Kaido's eyes.
Yeah, he did
Luffy,
not.
and I think this is worse categorically, stretched Kaido's eyes, like, it just went completely through them in order to grab onto the nose, and then used his momentum from that to just spring through his mouth.
Yeah.
I think that's the logistics of what's going on here.
Yeah, he stretched his eyes to grab, like, God.
Dude, like, okay, so, like, you know, cartoons are body horror.
Yeah.
If you poke too much fun and go down the rabbit hole, it's actually a really dark reason, and it has to do with, like, you know, slavery and what are them called? The blackface stuff.
Oh, racism. That one.
Yes, of course. Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Trudeau.
Yeah.
Should have said so. No. No, I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. Like, cartoons got their history in that stuff, but, like, that. So, like, that's kind of why it's body horror. But, like, I've watched a lot of cartoons in my life, and I've never seen the eyes get rubberized like that. Like, come on.
Yeah. This is almost, like, worse than, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, where Dio, like, becoming a vampire, I guess, gives you the power to control the pressure of the liquid in your eyes, and he cranked up the pressure and shot the like that's when he shoots the eye beam. It's canon in JoJo. He says so himself that it's the liquid in his eyes pressurized into a stream so powerful like it can cut through stone. And I'm like, dude, what? And so I'm seeing a little rubber boy reach his arms through a like dude's eyeballs. And I'm like, oh my god,
dude, like, what happens to your vision when that happens?
Where did Kaido's pupils go? Like,
dude, on the palms of the hand.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jesus.
I absolutely love it. And then, God, so body horror happens. He bounces out of Kaido's mouth, and he's like, and he goes, and he sucks in, and he like blasts off, like Luffy inhales and then blasts off, and he shoots like cartoon like into the clouds, and you just hear gum gum. And this, I love where Yamato and Momo are.
Yeah.
Yamato and Momo, like Momo's like reaching over the ledge of Onigashima, like looking like
dude, they're just peeking. They're just peeking toms right here. Also, I don't think Luffy sucked in air. I think just from the balloon, he burped it by accident and just left into the stratosphere.
Maybe.
Either way, a gum giant? Oh no.
Gum giant, and he gigantifies himself, and this is an amazing like color spread. I love this, like, or double page spread. But so I see Gum Giant, and we know that something with Joy Boy and the Void Century has to do with Elbaf. The Giants are important for something. They've been held like secret in their Elbaf island for like far too long.
Also being like, you know, world government can't touch them. Big hat.
The big hat, the world government is constantly trying to like get giants on their side. Like they're getting like giant, like, I mean, Big Mom's whole flashback was the Mother Caramel selling the giant children to the world government so they could become like soldiers. Not Vega. Well, Vegapunk wanted the devil fruits, but Caesar being hired to create like the gigantification, like they want to reproduce giants and dragons for some reason. So it's really cool that this double page spread has both.
The whole theory that like Vegapunk's like dragon fruit was a failure because it wasn't supposed to be a dragon fruit, it was supposed to be a giant fruit, like stuff like that. Joy Boy's giant Noah's Ark, like
yeah.
Dude, giants are way too important, and Luffy just coming up and having his like filthy ass sandal about to squash Kaido.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I love this because, okay, he has the sun god Nika's devil fruit, and on Elbaf, specifically in Big Mom's flashback, they talk about celebrating the solstice, and it was like them like celebrating my god, hold on, let me look it up. It was the solstice on Elbaf, the winter solstice. Hold on.
If it's winter, I don't know.
Because it makes reference of the sun. I can't remember what exactly. Every year, the denizens hold a certain tradition festival known as the winter solstice. As the name suggests, it is held during the end of the year to pay their gratitude to the sun.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, hold on. Like 63 years ago was when Big Mom's, cannibalism happened. But like, I don't know, just them having like the winter solstice and specifically like, oh, we pay our gratitude to the sun, and knowing that Nika's the sun god, and like, oh, it's just so cool getting drip fed these little things, because then it's like, oh, you see like the symbol that's in Alabasta, and that's also like in the crane in the Kozuki symbol is like that of like people thought it was maybe it was supposed to represent a moon with like the different phases of the moon around it, but it could also be looked at as like a sun. And like, obviously Jinbei has to know something. I can't wait for Jinbei to like learn about this with Luffy, because he got very pissed off when Who's Who mentioned the sun god Nika to him. Specifically so pissed off that he like cracked his skull.
Ooh.
So I want to know, like, because I feel like the Sun Pirates, like, that is no coincidence, like Fisher Tiger didn't just like, oh, we're gonna pick the sun just because,
right,
like,
just for fun. No.
Yeah, and especially with Joy Boy's like connection to what happened in Fishman Island in the past with the original Poseidon. So I don't know. All this to say, Gum Gum Giant is so cool.
And dude, immediately he just gets bit.
Yeah. And because Yamato and Momo are like, what's that? Why do I hear Luffy's voice coming from there? Is that him? Because I guess they like don't recognize him. But then, yeah, like you said, immediately just chomp.
And then like his response to just getting chomped, he grabs Kaido by the horn and the tails and just starts using him as a jump rope. This kid, this guy, like, I'm in complete awe.
Have you ever read a manga where a genocidal maniac dictator gets jump roped to death from like 12,000 miles in the sky?
I've never read Dr. Slump, but I feel like that's something that would happen there.
Oh, instead of that meme of Simpsons did it first, in manga it's Dr. Slump did it first. But God, yeah. So he's using him as a jump rope, and then Kaido uses his blast breath on him, and just classic cartoons. He gets blast breath, and you just see like the the little lines of him in the blast, like yelping, like yeah. Yamato, he's like, oh no, he took the full brunt of the blast breath, and then just the classic cartoon, like full body covered in ash. Like,
hey, you want to hear something real quick?
Yeah.
Luffy, as he's falling, he's frowning, but he's falling upside down. A frown upside down. That's a smile, baby.
Turn that frown upside down.
He like shakes it off and does the like Sonic foot thing.
Yeah, that's the only way that it could be described. Just
His legs turn into wheels.
Listeners, if there is an official term for this, please let us know on our Discord or on Twitter at Paramecia Cast. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the Sonic feet thing.
Weirdos will be very like specific about it, and they'll be like, "Oh, the Sonic thing is like it has to be a figure eight, the infinity thing," and it's like, dude, whatever. He does the things with his legs, and he went vroom, literally vroom.
Yeah, and like just vroom, and on like leaving a trail of like flames, which I think later in the chapter Kaido confirms it, but Luffy in this form is white?
Yes, he is.
Like I'm assuming his flames are white as well.
And his clothes are too, I think.
Yeah. Because Kaido says like he turns all white.
It was Yamato who said that.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because like when I read that, I was like, when I read that, the first thing I thought was freaking Kingdom Hearts 2. There's a part in the game where you go to the Steamboat Willie world. It's called like Timeless River, and all of your party members get changed into like Steamboat Willie versions, but they're like black and white. And that's how, like, literally how I'm imagining Luffy, like, just like a living manga character, just black and white in this like world of color. Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like, I don't know if that's actually how it's going to come out to be.
Yeah.
But like, if he just ended up being like black and white, like, come on, Oda. Just call it the Mickey Mouse fruit.
Yeah.
It's still a zone, technically.
Oh, just the mythical... the mouse fruit model, or mythical model Mickey.
The only... Dude, that's the one Blackbeard is gonna go after. Yeah. He's missing a zone.
There's... Oh, God, that's a crack theory, but there's theories that he might, like... Some people are speculating, like, oh, maybe he might have a mythical zone as well?
Already?
Or, like, maybe his darkness fruit was a mythical zone the same way that Luffy's was all along. And, because, like, they're saying it was a, I've seen a theory online, I forget who originally had posted it, but I've seen theories online that, like, his fruit, they're thinking it's gonna be like a hippopotamus, like some kind of mythical hippopotamus or something.
Why?
There's some ancient Egyptian god that's like a hippo, or the ancient Egyptians like revered the hippo, and they said that like the hippo, like when it dove underwater like during the day or something, and then it would like come out like when the sun was down. It had something to do with the sun, but then also like Oda had said if each of these like in some SBS they were like, oh, if these pirates were animals, what would they be? And he said that Blackbeard would be a hippo. And I know hippos have I think they're one of the animals that have like multiple stomachs, or they have like multiple chambers for like stomachs. Yeah. So people were like, oh well, if maybe he has a mythical zone, and like maybe it's like a hippo or some weird thing like that, and that's what allows him to have multiple devil fruits.
Okay. That's
think all like insane crack theory. So like...
it is, but to clarify, the legend that it's talking about, I believe, is the legend of Horus or Osiris. Because like, no, I believe it's Horus, because Horus kind of like ferries the sun around or something like that, and I don't know, it's like a whole thing, but like because he's not a sun god, that's raw. We're all Yu-Gi-Oh fans here, we know that.
Yeah.
But Horus is the god of the sky, and so he like flies on a ship and takes it around the world on a river, something along those lines.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about, what it's referencing to.
Yeah.
So it makes some sense. But also, like, mythical zone fruit hippopotamus, that sounds really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I like the dichotomy now more so. Like they've always been like two sides of the same coin, like Luffy and Blackbeard.
Right.
But I like now that it's like he is the darkness, like with the Yami Yami no Mi.
Of course, yeah.
And now
like,
Luffy is like literally the sun. Like
yeah. We don't necessarily have like a moon god per se, right? Like the only myth we have about it is like the fairy earth.
Yeah.
But no deities, so I mean, hey, if we get any introduced, we know what's happening later down the line.
Yeah. But we cut back to the fight. So Luffy, zooms off like running through the air, and he charges up a Gum Gum attack, and he's running at Kaido like Gum Gum. And Kaido just Conqueror of Three Worlds Ragnaroku, and he jumps, like springs up off his tail, bashes Luffy's head, and Luffy's cartoon head shoots through the ceiling into the performance hall, and his eyes are bugging out. He's got the cartoon lump on his head. He's just ow! I love when Oda does this. When Oda had this very serious scene of like Kid, Law, and Luffy like arguing like who was better, and then you turn the page, and when Kaido shot the fireball, they were playing a game of chicken to see who could like dodge at the last second, and they had that stupid look on their face. And now we get all of them with the cartoon eyes like Luffy's. Like Luffy tunified them, and they're all screaming like, ah!
See, that's the Paramecia effect. It's not a rubber, it's rubber hose.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait. Toei's gonna have a field day with this. It's gonna be crazy.
Dude, because I know for a fact, like something like this, for the contents of episode 1000, when that gets animated, I'm sure they're gonna go ham.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like, for big moments, they go all out. Like, I remember when the manga like announced like, oh, it's gonna be Sanji versus Luffy. And when the anime did Sanji versus Luffy in Whole Cake, like, they had all these promotions going on. They went all out on the episode, like, promoting it and stuff. Like, the fight was so well animated with the Wano animation. And this, like, dude, they're gonna have a field day animating, his Nika form. Like,
dude, that's what Toei has been saving their whole budget for. All these years, it's been saving for this moment.
Yep. Oda, when he came to Toei Animation in the late 90s, and he said, hey, I got an anime for you guys, but I got it. It was like, have you ever heard the story of the Game of Thrones writers before they literally pooped the bed?
No.
There's a story that the reason that they got the job as the writers was because George R.R. Martin, spoilers for Game of Thrones, but I mean, it's been, I don't know how many years since the show, and also it was bad, the ending. So
yeah, not
whatever.
Really anybody cares anymore. So
yeah, go read the books if you like Game of Thrones, because the books are infinitely better and cooler. But anyways, he asked them like a question. He was like, "Who do you what do you think?" He basically asked them like, "What do you think like the twist is?" Like, the twist of it all, like the mystery. And they like read the books, and they correctly guessed, and they told him like, oh, like, we think that Jon Snow is the actual son of like, he's Aegon Targaryen is his real name. Like, he's the actual son of the Targaryen guy. He's the true heir to the throne. Like, he's the next in line. And like, they guessed it correct, and that was before he had even written that into the books. Like, there was hints, and you knew that something was off with Jon Snow, because it's like, well, are his parents really just like, is he really just a bastard son of Ned Stark? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But they like correctly guessed it. I'm imagining the same thing with like the Toei animators, and like years ago, he's like, how good are you at rubber hose animating?
Dude, like, could you imagine being one of those people who like knows like who the key animation people are and whatever? Could you imagine going through their whole portfolio and just being like, oh, this person does cartoon stuff.
They're in. Like, that's, yeah. I can't wait for this to get animated. This panel is so good of like Luffy screaming through the ceiling. And he like puckers his head back, and Kaido has a funny line. Like, Kaido's just watching all of this unfold, and my favorite panel is like, it's like something out of a comic strip. Like, it's just like,
it's so good. But like the battle just like dies down now. Luffy gives a big oof.
A big Roblox oof.
And, you know, Kaido's being boisterous. He's like, oh, very entertaining. You cannot defeat me. You reach your limit. Luffy's verbatim says, who says I'm at my limit? And just starts melting. And then all of a sudden he's just like, I'm tuckered out. Kaido just has to play into the bit. He has to yes and him. He's like, oh, who are you? And then on top of that, he just like also collapses a bit. Like, they're both in for it.
Yeah. He's just like, who are you? But this moment's so good. He's like, oh yeah, I was dying before this. Wow, it takes a lot of energy. And he's like, you have my assurances. After you die, someone will tell the tale of your great battle. And he's like, I don't need any of that. Huff, huff. Once we're dead, the only thing that's left is bones. And he just starts laughing.
What a funny thing to say.
Yeah, I'm let me look it up, the lyrics to Bink's Sake, because like I'm pretty sure there's a lyric that's just like that.
No way.
In the English one. Let's I mean, Bink Sake, there's a whole bunch of lines about like, oh, like smiling and your laughter will like,
morning sunrise,
Dose dare demo itsuka wa hone yo, doesn't matter who you are, someday you'll just be bones.
I see it, it's like one of the last lines.
Yeah,
dude.
And I'm like, dude, the Bink Sake was written about, I'm assuming the original Joy Boy or whoever the original Nika was.
That would make Binks a historical figure. I don't want to think about this.
Yeah. Or the song was just written, the song, maybe whoever wrote the song, but the song was written about Nika.
Oh, man. This is gonna be, these next few months are gonna be a headache for us.
Yes.
Boy,
yes,
howdy.
they are.
So, like, you know, Luffy, he's trying to psych himself back up. You know, Yamato and Momo, they're looking after, and they're like, oh, it really is Luffy. Didn't look like him because his hair and clothes turned white. Again, maybe he just turns black and white eventually. That would be sick. But Momo's also concerned because apparently his voice in bold is nearly dying out. But Luffy doesn't care. His clothes start turning white again. He gets the silk thing again. And then he calls out Momo, Tama, Kinemon, and then lastly Pedro. Which is like, okay.
I read this, that's a weird one. I had to think about this for a while. I was like, what? Like, what?
It's like, you know, for some reason I thought that like Pedro's last words to the crew had something to do about Dawn or something like that. But like,
they did. His final speech was like, oh, like the Straw Hat Pirates are going to be the ones that bring about the Dawn. Like, I know it.
Right. And like we do get a bit more context of that in the chapter that follows that, because like oh boy, wait, whoops.
Yeah.
878 is like, so sorry, 877 is like the chapter leading up to that, and that's when he says like, oh, they'll bring the dawn. And then 878 is just a whole flashback of Pedro talking about how like night is the moment before dawn, and it brings dawn, night does, and all that. And like we get a flashback to Pedro's radicalization.
Yeah.
Like, which, you know, here in this page, on 878, Roger tells him, "Hey kid, you're still on standby. I don't have much time left, so listen up. Everyone has their moment to shine," which is more or less verbatim like how it reads in the actual flashback on 967. The wording is slightly different. "Pedro, you said your name was? Listen, kid, you're on the waiting list. See, everyone gets their turn to shine." And then, you know, he's like, "Oh, my turn? When it comes around, you can help us." And like, what is Oda trying to say here?
Yeah, I don't know. Because the thing that's peculiar to me about it is that Luffy was not there to hear Pedro's final words.
Was he not?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he had already jumped into the mirror world, because it was when they were trying to get away from Big Mom.
I will Big Mom was like on the ship. Quick.
Yeah, because like, I remember that he blew himself up, and then they were all like crying on the ship, and then Jinbei had to be the one to step up and be like, "Yo, like we can't let his sacrifice be in vain." But Luffy was already in the mirror world fighting Katakuri at that point. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Luffy is there to hear those words, but that's like literally right before he steps into the mirror after Katakuri. Wait, no.
Okay.
Luffy does witness the explosion too.
Okay. Then.
Okay, yeah. So on 877, like, it's straight up just like Luffy going after Katakuri, Perospero being, you know, whatever, Big Mom's on their tail, and he says, "Carrot, try not to be startled by this sudden turn of events. I have a suspicion that Luffy and his friends are those whom our people in the Kozuki clan have awaited for centuries, the ones who will guide us toward the dawn of the world." And then, some action, this and that, Perospero stuff, and Perospero just, you know, Pedro goes up to Perospero, says, "So long," and just blows up.
Yeah.
Like, so, okay, Luffy witnessed these last words. One has to wonder how he took them to heart, because as we very well know, Luffy literally doesn't think. So we as readers are never privy to what goes on in his mind.
Yeah. Luffy doesn't have thought bubbles. Like, he just speaks his mind all the time. I feel like, you know, Momo's the one that he really pushed, like, to get stronger, and like, hey, you gotta fight for, you know, you're the leader, like, you gotta be the best leader you can be. You know, Tama, he's the one that he made the declaration, like, I'm gonna make Wano a place where you can eat, like, your fill whenever you want. Kinemon obviously was like, you know, the entire chapter 1000 thing, when he like walked up and like grabbed Kinemon and like told him like, yeah, like, I'm gonna beat Kaido, don't you worry. And then Pedro, like, the only thing I could think is that he really took Pedro's sacrifice like seriously, and like he took it as like he like without like Pedro gave us a second chance that day, and like, for sure, you know, we owe him. Yeah, that's how I took this line, because I was like, oh man, like, you know, to call out like Momo, Tama, and Kinemon, I understand those. Yeah. And the Pedro one, I'm like, what the hell?
This by itself warrants a reread of like the middle part of Whole Cake.
Yeah, for sure.
And because like, and this is like one of the negatives of how One Piece is written.
Yeah,
pacing has to go so fast that like no one had any time to mourn. Readers kind of didn't have time to mourn. And sure, like, you can make the argument that's what battle is like. You know, that's war, that's this, whatever. But like, we still had events after that where we theoretically could have had a respite, but we as readers never see it. So I wonder, like, I don't watch the anime flat out, so maybe there was some filler stuff about that, but I don't know at this point.
We'd have to see, but I don't know. Anyways, let's finish off this chapter because there's not too much left. So Luffy goes back into the Nika form, and Kaido is like, "Oh, careful or you'll die." And Luffy's just like, "You think I'm afraid of that? Come on, heart, hit that beat." And he's like making his heart, like pumping his heart to the beat of the drums of liberation. And he's like, "Yeah, that's the sound." And this is Luffy, look out. And you just see the club coming. You turn the page.
Luffy literally looks like Junkrat from Overwatch.
Yeah. Luffy's face is like, as the Kaido's club hits the back of Luffy's face stretches out over to coat like the outside of his club. You just see Luffy with like spiky nose and like,
dude, his nose is a tongue. His nose is a spike. His tongue is a spike. Like that's really thought out. Oda thought he's big brain for that.
And the look of horror on Yamato's face, like, what? And I love Luffy, his face still stuck like that, running, just like, ah! Just like screaming.
Oh, God. And dude, he gets clobbered. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the last panel on this page makes it look gruesome.
Yeah, it's like a crunch, like he gets hit.
But then the earth below him just boings. And then he, flattened like a Mountain Dew can, just boings as well and just flies away. And then he hits like this, he hits this like rock and then just sits there and starts counting down 3, 2, 1, 0. Mind you, I read that like in Pecora's voice for some reason. 3, 2, 1. And Luffy blasts off. He starts spinning, and Kaido's trying to think about this. Oh, yeah. What does all of this mean? He turns all white. He uses the colors of armament and Supreme King. Can transfer his powers to other things. I've never seen such freewheeling combat before. And Kaido, he starts yelling, "There's no one in the world who can defeat me." And he just gets domed.
Boom, headshot. Dude, I read this and I was like, is this... what?
Dude, he completely ethered. It's crazy. He turned of the page, his shit sunk in.
Like, Luffy punched Kaido's face so hard. What's happening is that he stretched Kaido's face and punched him so hard that, like, Kaido's face is on Luffy's fist on the other side of his head, like in like a glove. And I'm just sitting, like, I saw that panel, I was like, yo, did he just, all I could think about as Luffy was, like, charging him and, like, Kaido's thinking is that video of the girl, like, freaking out on Twitch, like that the planet is dying, the animals are leaving us, the aliens don't want to talk to us, and it's like, do we really need anything else? And then it cuts straight to a Call of Duty Modern Warfare montage to like, oh, break me
yeah, down, with that 30 seconds to Mars video. Yeah. Oh,
and it's
dude.
Like the 360 no scopes and like,
dude. He literally
all I could think about.
No scoped him.
He 360 no scopes Kaido and like the gum no 360 no scope. Like,
unbelievable.
He bashes him on the floor and then we end the chapter no break week with, "Isn't this fun, Kaido?" And I'm like, oh, I'm terrified.
Dude, the verbal teabag.
Yeah. Jesus.
Dude, this is insane. Like, I feel a little bad for Kaido. I'm not gonna lie. I do.
Yeah. He's getting Toontowned like it's nobody's business. He doesn't even know. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. I thought about it because in this chapter, all of Luffy's attacks, he prefaces them with Gum Gum still. And it's like, oh yeah, like he still doesn't know like what this power is.
And I don't think he cares.
Yeah, like he knows that he knows that like his heart is beating and it makes him funny man and it gives him strength. But like he doesn't know like the exposition that we were told, like, oh, he's the sun god Nika, like he has a mythical zone fruit. To Luffy, he's just like, oh, I got a second wave of power, like let's go.
Oh, Luffy singing that Kesha song that we had to spend 5 minutes to verify whether or not it was a Kesha song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his heart do beat to the beat of the drum.
Oh, what a shame that you came here with someone. Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young.
Dude.
As these two characters fight to the death.
Dude. Kesha wrote Bink Sake?
and that's gonna wrap it up for us this week. Oh my god, that was great.
Social media at Paramecia Cast Twitter, Paramecia Fancast, everything else. Our Discord permanent invite link is on our like bios and everything on all our social media. You don't want us to like read it to you because that's just weird. Discord.gg. Isn't it lame that Discord doesn't give like, unless you're a community of like 1,000 people, like a bajillion people, you can't get like a custom URL for that?
Yeah, you have to be like a Discord partner. That's like,
dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
Who do I need to talk to?
Yeah, who do we need to talk to? Let's get this going.
Dude, discord.gg/actually a zone fruit.
It's perfect. But oh god, no. Episodes go up every single Monday following the official release on Sundays. As soon as the audio episode is uploaded to the hosting site, parameciafancast.libsyn.com, it's sent to every other podcatcher in existence, major ones, you know, obviously Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. If you're listening to us on Spotify and or iTunes, thank you, and also utilize their rating and comment interfaces, and give us a good rating on the episodes. Let us know if you like the show. Engagement really helps, especially on those platforms.
You'd really be surprised.
Yeah. And episodes also go up on YouTube every single week as well. Usually within a couple hours delay of the episodes going up on the hosting site.
I had
sometimes
no
YouTube is dumb.
idea that you put the Guilty Gear font for Gear 5.
Yup.
And like you're a madman. I love it.
Because I was like, I gotta put Gear 5 on the thumbnail. Like, it has to be this way.
Dude, how does it...
And then I was like, wait, Guilty Gear.
We're done with our actionables, right? We're done with our plugs. Okay, actually, wait.
Yeah.
Real quick plug from downtown. So our good friend, Jer, they do ska music. A lot of y'all probably know them as Ska 2 Network, but they're doing their solo project, Jer. It's a ska solo project. The single of their first full-length album is out now. It's streaming everywhere. It's called Clout Chaser by Jer, Jer. This song is so good. I cannot stress enough. Like, it's been on my head. It's been in my head all day.
It is such a good song. I'm going to post it in the Discord.
Hell yeah. So, that is our last actionable. A crack theory. One Piece is in the Guilty Gear universe because the final fight, Luffy versus Blackbeard, heaven or hell, do or die.
Duel 1.
Duel 1. Let's rock.